We've been asking a question throughout the tournament. When Superman in pink doesn't fire, what happens to his side? We've got a bit of an answer here. There was an opportunity for someone like Riyan Parag. He grabbed it with both hands, got himself a half century, and has given them some kind of respectability. 144 was never what they would have intended to get at the start of the innings, but at least it's runs on the board as opposed to a 110, 120 type total. Full marks to Riyan Parag, but also full marks to the entire bowling unit of Faf du Plessis' men. How does this total look in the context of the game? I guess our panel can get together and answer that. Simon Doull, Harsha Bhogle. Dooley, I'll come to you first. Just overall, that bowling unit will be delighted with keeping them down. Riyan Parag, of course, you've got to give him credit.
Yeah, I think they will be happy with the score. I thought that Rajasthan summed it up, or Riyan Parag summed it up really well, I think. It doesn't look easy. I think we heard from Siraj at the end there, and he said it didn't, it's not an easy surface to bat on. So I thought Parag summed it up really well, just sort of held his own at the start. That partnership, a little partnership with Mitchell, who didn't really look comfortable at all. And then at the back end, he was able to find some boundaries and put that score on the board. So I thought he played a fantastic innings today from Parag. I don't know that they'll be overly comfortable with 144. I think Bangalore would feel the more comfortable with it, but it is a better score than that. What it looked like, it could have been 120, and then you're probably not winning. You're not winning 9 out of 10 games with 120. 144 on a tough surface, wickets up front, quality bowling attack. You're in the game, and so I think they've done a great job to get there.
Yeah, Harsha, you were listening intently to what Siraj said at the end. In the context of that, and the fact that Riyan Parag hadn't really got enough runs, he was playing in that middle where he wasn't even getting opportunities at times, thanks to Butler. He's really grabbed it.
And I think he's shown he's got the game. Sometimes because young player looks like he's got the big hits at the end, you tend to leave him for the end. And I think he's shown that he's got the game. So he could easily bat 4-5, maybe just after Hetmeyer if they've got a good start, maybe slightly above. But he's shown he's got the game. So I'm happy for him because he's shown another side to him. He's shown he can hit the ball clean. But I'm with Dooley there that 144 could easily have been 125. That catch by Hasaranga. I mean, we've seen this, as usual, we've seen some great catches in this tournament, but it's incredible how many dollies have gone down. And that was a dolly. So that's cost them about 15, 20 runs. Before that, I was going to say that one of the big pluses for RCB today was that Hasaranga bowled his 4 overs, 2 for 23. So, I mean, his bowling is still the plus. He's not going to drop those too often. But you're right about the bowling. Hazelwood, excellent again. Just that bounce. I think, Dooley, you probably answer that better. These wickets are just made for Hazelwood because of that bounce that he's getting. The number of times he's hitting the top of the bat. And so what's he done today? 2 for 19, including 9, 10, 11 of the last over.
Yeah, and even Harshal, 1 for 33. What did he go for? 18 of his last over. So he was going along nicely. Siraj did a good job up front. I don't think you look at that bowling performance and say that anything was too bad. Maybe Shahbaz, but they went after Shahbaz, didn't they? It seemed like a conscious effort to go after Shahbaz Ahmed up front. And, I think across the board, if you said 144, I think Faf du Plessis at the toss would have said, yep, I'll have that. Thank you very much. Yeah. And I'll have it quite happily. They're still going to have to play well, though. I think we've seen enough in the pitch to suggest that, if Trent Boult gets it right up front, if there's a little bit in it for the spinners. We didn't see a lot of turn for Hasaranga, so I don't expect too much turn for Ashwin and Chahal. But, if they get it right, pick up some wickets up front, put some pressure on that middle order, there is still an opportunity.
Yeah, 22 in 6 overs is what Hazelwood and Harshal Patel had between them. And then came that dropped catch and then a few runs leaked at the end. So it could have changed the balance of it. But up front, Harsha, even before Hazelwood did his thing and Harshal came on towards the back end, those 3 overs early on in that first 10 from Siraj really set up the game for Bangalore.
I mean, he conceded 22 in his first 2. But he was getting the ball to move beautifully. He's got a good bouncer. He's got a very skiddy bouncer. But because the ball comes on so well, Ashwin was just able to time 4 boundaries. But it was good to see that he was going on. And he picked up those 2 wickets. I'm actually saying 2 for 2. If you get 2 for 20 in your first 2 overs, most days captains will say, yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
Because 10 over doesn't matter in the power play, but you're giving me 2 wickets up front. Most people will take it. So Siraj is in good form. Hasaranga has come back. Hazelwood's in good form. I'm just looking from Rajasthan Royals' point of view and some of the shots that Sanju Samson played. I mean, he was looking good, as he always looks $1 million. But I say sometimes when you're very rich, you don't always know what to do with your money. And he's got so many shots, and he pulls out that reverse sweep. He played one reverse sweep right off his stumps against Shahbaz and got away. Then he plays a reverse sweep against Hasaranga. I mean, there's the riches there in front of the wicket for him. So I guess I'll never understand, because I never had those options in life to be able to have those many shots. But I don't understand. He's got everything going, and he'll throw it away sometimes.
Simon, to take Harsha's metaphor forward, I mean, if he's got $1 million, he was almost doing so well in that first over against Hasaranga. He made sure if Hasaranga is the burglar who's going to steal the $1 million, he made sure that the alarms are on and everything was all fine. Second over, suddenly he switches the alarm off and leaves the door open and goes out.
Yeah, exactly. It was weird. I mean, both reverse sweeps were weird when they're not really a shot that. I mean, I know he probably practices it, but it's not a shot I've seen him play a huge amount of time and with a lot of success. I equate Sanju Samson with the lofted extra cover drive, the lofted drive over long off. The ball straight down the ground. I don't equate him with a reverse sweep. It's just not really. I don't think it's his go. So he'll be disappointed, I'm sure, with that particular shot. I mean, to be fair, most of them struggled, didn't they? They struggled up front with the bouncing ball. Daryl Mitchell struggled as much as anyone through that middle period. He just couldn't get going. It was really only Rian Parag who looked like he had a decent sort of assessment of the surface. But I mean, having said that, we've already mentioned it. He got lucky on one occasion as well, and probably should have been out for 30, I think it was, or 32 when he was dropped. So yeah, Bangalore have themselves to blame for the fact they're chasing 144. It could have been easily 120, but I wouldn't say it was Rajasthan's best batting performance by a lot of their players. They just didn't seem to sum up the situation. Much like I said last night, Shikhar Dhawan, he summed up that surface last night to a T. And I don't think anyone in that top 4 tonight really summed up the surface and early enough and realised that, 155, 160 might be good enough.
Yeah, well, we've seen Faf du Plessis just languidly leaning on the boundary fence before they go out, keeping him company, which is unusual for the season. We had mentioned it at the very start, is Virat Kohli. But Harsha, well before he puts the helmet on and the pads on and the gloves on, he was very involved in this particular fielding innings, catch not included.
I'll tell you what, that was a serious catch from Virat Kohli. I've noticed that. I don't know if he's just trying very hard to be part of it all. It's just his nature. But he's not allowed the fact that he's not scoring runs. So he's not just moping around. He's not standing in a corner all by himself. He's in the thick of action all along. He's going and talking to bowlers from time to time, high-fiving. I'm very keen to see the Bolt versus Kohli contest, because if there's someone who can get the ball to swing, if there's one bowler you bet will get a ball to swing, it's Trent Bolt. So if he gets that a little bit to do, and Siraj said there's no dew yet. I don't know if it'll come now. It's 9:30. We had that discussion yesterday, so I'm going to sit on the fence a little bit. It's definitely not coming. But that will be a very, very good contest. Bolt and Prasidh Krishna against Kohli. If he scores runs, he'll know Virat Kohli that he's got them against a quality attack.
And the other contest, we didn't sort of harp too much on it. I'm not sure if he has enough runs to play with it, but Chahal would have been queuing up to play against his old guys.
Yeah, he would have been looking forward to it. He still will. He's such a competitor, Yuzvendra Chahal, and he'll be looking forward to any contest, even if they're none down by the time he has to come in and bowl. It's something he'll relish and look forward to, I'm sure. Just on the Kohli thing and the helping out, I mean, I'm sure that there's been discussions. I look at Bangalore and I think they've got 3 captains almost. DK is doing so much talking and so much setting of fields. Faf, we know that post the 6th over, Faf is generally fielding on the boundary. So he will have his say with the bowlers and the changes and stuff like that. But he needs someone inside the ring. He needs probably two people. And he probably looks at DK and VK and says, boys, you're going to have to do a lot of the work for me here. You're going to have to talk to the bowlers. You're going to have to help out. And it'd be stupid if he's not doing that. So I look at that Bangalore side and I think they've got, a bloke with a C beside his name, but they've got three genuine leaders and Maxwell who can all do the job, who's, has captained his franchise in the Big Bash as well. So I've got no issue with that. There's the load's been spread around quite nicely. If the job's getting done, and at the moment you would say post barring the last game, which was an aberration of the season, I think it's been done pretty well.
I think a good example, Harsha, before we wrap here, would have been the Hetmeyer dismissal and the build up to it. A lot of conversations happening there. DK was involved and VK was involved.
Yes. And DK's, even when we've been at the ground, we've noticed very casually he's moving fine leg a little finer. Today he was gesticulating to someone to go a little squarer because he knows the angles. That's a keeper's job. Yeah. So he's going to do that. As I said, very impressed that Virat is in the thick of it all. Mm. I think Faf's done a really good job captaining the side. And one of the ways you look at that is they're in good situations and they've got key overs from bowlers left. So the way he's used Hasaranga, the way he's used Hazelwood, there was some discussion today on whether he should have gone third over for Hazelwood, but he realizes that Hazelwood will come back with a bounce on these tracks and bowl a good over 12th and 13th and one back at the end. So I think he's handled the bowling reserves that he has really, really well.
Yeah, well, it looks like a run chase that's set up for the Kohli type of run chase. I know we've said it before for Chennai, we've said it in other cases, but in this case, because of the run he's going through, it's probably, he wouldn't have wanted 190 to start with. He's just come up the order and in the light of that, and he's taken strike, walked out there, he's taken the initiative as well. He's got a bit of a smile on his face because there was, let's say, a bit of a close shave and everyone's breathed a sigh of relief because he just flicked it slightly uppishly and it was on the first bounce by a millimeter to Daryl Mitchell, fielding not too far away, within whispering distance.
Maybe his luck's turning. He played one pickup shot, he found the fielder, he's had a direct hit, he's had all these peculiar dismissals. So hopefully, let's see.
And the almost identical shot, this time along the ground, goes for 4. So there you go. That is a sign. Is it a sign? Let's hope it's a sign there, because you could see the spectators' reactions. Trent bowled, it could have been an all-Kiwi affair there. Caught Mitchell Bolt. Well, they're nice people generally, giving him a chance.
Like the Parsis, there's more Parsis than I think there are. There's more Kiwis than I think there are.
Right, there you go. So the two Kiwis have let off Virat Kohli at the moment. He's got another boundary with a French cut. Call it what you like. 8 runs already on the board. Crowd are delirious. How many runs in the power play, Simon Doull?
43.
43. These guys they're going to keep hitting. Yeah. Harsha, more than that?
47. 47 and winning in the 18th.
47 winning in the 18th. 55 and winning in the 17th. All right, let's see what happens. All right. There we go. It's already starting to come together. That little slice of luck we were talking about. In the 10th over, on Cricbuzz Combox, will Virat Kohli still be there? Will we still be talking about him, even if he's made some sort of a contribution? Well, we can promise we'll be there, that's for sure. And we'll see you then in about 9.5 hours' time. But for now, for this mid-show on Cricbuzz Live, that's all we have.